Hello and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian filling in for Jim Rogers today. In the news, following a 2-month-long investigation by the City and County Special Crimes Unit, a 29-year-old Sulphur Springs man was arrested Thursday at 10:15 a.m. on a warrant for manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance more than 4 grams but less than 200 grams, and on warrants for possession of a controlled substance more than 1 gram but less than 4 grams, and for having a controlled substance in plain sight more than 4 grams but less than 200 grams. The man is alleged to have sold methamphetamine in undercover buys that led to the issuance of the warrants. When the man was arrested, 15.2 grams of meth were found in a hotel room on Industrial Drive where he lived. Officers also arrested a 36-year-old woman in the hotel room. The woman admitted to having a quantity of methamphetamine, and she reportedly pointed investigators to the 15.2 grams of meth in the room. Jacob Dean McGarry was charged with manufacture and delivery of methamphetamine more than 4 grams, for possession of meth more than 1 gram, and having more than 4 grams of meth in plain sight. 36-year-old Amber Shandell Goldsmith was charged with possession of a controlled substance more than 4 grams. A call to the Sulphur Springs Police Department reporting a possible fraud on Gilmer Street led to the arrest of a 38-year-old Picton woman. An officer contacted the woman regarding the fraud and found the vehicle that she was in was stolen, and they also discovered possible methamphetamine in her purse. Rachel Nicole Watson was charged with possession of a controlled substance more than 4 grams and with unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. The Hopkins County Dairy Festival Board of Directors is beginning preparations for the 2018 Dairy Festival. Dates this year, June 8th through the 16th. This year's theme is Party Till the Cows Come Home. Opening ceremony is set for June 8th at noon on Celebration Plaza. The first flight for hot air balloons will take place June 8th from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. This year, 30 balloons are planning to participate. The Dairy Festival Parade was scheduled for June 9th, and any young lady who's a junior in a Hopkins County school is encouraged to apply for the Dairy Festival Queen Contest. The annual Queen Coronation Pageant is set for June 16th at the SSHS Auditorium. During Women's History Month, GoFundMe is honoring Letitia Conlife for her dedication to helping children in her hometown of Sulphur Springs. After enduring life as a single mother, Ms. Conlife was determined to help teens in her community who were facing similar hardships but still had dreams. Ms. Conlife founded Lil Fours, a safe haven for children so that they could have a hot meal in a stable, welcoming environment. Up to 50 children, ranging in ages from 5 to 17, utilize the free services that Ms. Conlife provides. A member of the community started a GoFundMe account which raised $20,000 in 1 month to help Lil Fours stay in business through the Christmas holidays. The current fundraising effort would provide a new van to transport kids, help repairs for the facility, and bring in guest speakers who could show kids what they can accomplish if they stay on track.
Bridget Taylor Hammers, she is an Emmy Award-winning recording artist. She had her chance at country music through Curb Records, but she really wanted to stay in the Christian music genre, and that journey has taken her lots of places. To worship leadership in churches, a recording and vocal performance school of her own recording career, also appearances across the nation at churches, and an artist in residence position at Cottonwood Christian Church in Allen. Visiting Sulphur Springs this week on spring break, Bridget Taylor Hammers stopped in to say hi.
After I graduated college, I went to Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and there I studied music. I actually studied vocal performance with a minor in business.
Now, of course, you were singing here.
Yes, and my degree was in opera. So, yeah, so much fun, a lot of fun doing that. My heart has always been in worship and leading worship. I was even scouted by a country label named Curb in my sophomore year of college, and I still just wanted to pursue worship and continued just down that path of where my heart was leading me. So,
and you have done that. Now, you were teaching, and vocal training.
Mm-hmm. So we had a vocal studio. It's kind of an interesting way that we got started in that. So right after college, I met my husband, and we got married about a year and a half after we met. And after we got married, we were like, we were still living in Tulsa, and we said, we're gonna stay here, and if we're not making a certain amount of money by a year from now, then we're just gonna move to Dallas and just start. And so we decided to move to Dallas that next year. And as soon as we moved into our townhome in Addison, Texas, an advertisement for a TV show came on. And it was a local talent contest, like an American Idol or something like that. And my husband said, "Oh, you should go audition." And I was like, "No, babe, I don't like doing that stuff." And he goes, "Go audition." So inside of that contest, I met a lady named Linda Septi, and she was one of the judges. And she was hiring for an administrative assistant. And I thought, I just want to work in the music industry. I don't care what it is. And when I applied, she said, "Why don't you come be a vocal coach for me?" So then I started vocal coaching and then started my own studio a few years after that. It had great success, awesome students. Some students even drove from Sulphur Springs to come to our town up in McKinney to take lessons. And we had a student who was a top 4 of The Voice, and just everything was going really great. And multiple teachers that worked for us and did artist development, which that means basically we would teach them vocal coaching, but we would also teach them guitar and piano, songwriting, how to market themselves, basically like a mini label kind of thing. And one January, we were taking our teachers out to eat. We'd always go to like a Brazilian steakhouse and just treat them awesome as their thank you for all their work that year. We were going around doing New Year's resolutions, and it came to my husband, Keith, and he was like, unspoken. So we got in the car, and honestly, I thought his New Year's resolution was going to be, it's time to have a baby. That's what I thought his New Year's resolution was going to be. And he said, actually, my New Year's resolution is that you would stop teaching and start pursuing the calling on your life to lead worship full time. It trips me up every time because I knew that was the desire of my heart, but I was waiting on my husband to lead us. And so it was a complete answer to prayer. And then started us on a journey of incredible faith, of walking away of what we had known as our comfort, what we had known as a large support of how we supported ourselves financially, and stepping out in faith.
Well, I see the beautiful pictures on your website, and I see your evolution. I have the CD, The Sky.
Yeah.
And I see your evolution through, just the way that you present yourself as an artist that people can see. Now, when you're leading worship around the country, this is kind of a separate career. I mean, the music that you record and that people buy is part of the bigger career.
Yes, and recently in October, I became a staff member of a church called Cottonwood Creek in Allen, Texas, and they hired me as artist in residence. It's a really fancy term for worship leader who travels. Okay. So basically, what happened was they wanted me to come alongside them and support where they're going and what direction they're going in, and they're going in a new direction with their worship, and they're also coming alongside alongside me, and they're supporting me with their contacts. It's an amazing church. They host a lot of the concerts that come into town with the large Christian radio station in town, KLTY. So we've hosted Big Daddy Weave, Micah Tyler, Mandisa, all these people at our church. And so they have an incredible influence. And so we're getting to partner together, which is beautiful. And something that's really cool is that I get to go out as part of my job. And so as I go out and lead at churches in Chicago and different states, I go and I represent myself, but I also represent a bigger body of believers at Cottonwood Creek.
There's some folks listening who may want to visit there in Allen at Cottonwood Creek.
Yeah.
It's not very far away.
It's a beautiful church. It's just a beautiful church. The people are amazing. My husband and I lovingly call it a mega country church because it's definitely a huge church, but when you walk in, it feels warm and inviting, and the people, it's a multi-generational church. So a lot of the churches in North Texas right now are very, you only see a certain generation. It's that 20s and 30s, which is great. I love that. However, I had really missed seeing the 60s, 70s, and 80s inside of a church service, and seeing that multi-generational worship together is just a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful, and that's how I was raised. The kind of church I went to here was multi-generational, and it's also a multicultural church. So it's not just the 20s and 30s, young, married, white families. It's multicultural. And so we get to see just different people and different ages, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Tell us a little bit about the music that we might find that you have recorded.
So I'm basically anywhere you can find music digitally. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. I mean, all of those digital places you can find music. My website is bridgethammers.com, and you can find music there. YouTube. All that stuff.
Your newest release.
Newest release is an amazing song. It's going to be coming out April 10th. And the one thing I really love about this song, it's called Never Unaware. But the day we wrote it was the day after the Manchester bombing. And the writer and the co-writer and I were in the room, and his name is Chris Ch.18. He's actually from Dallas too. He's an awesome dude, and he lives in Nashville now. And we went in there, and he just looked at me, and we were talking about this horrible event that just happened the day before, and we both looked at each other and said, you know what? Our God is not on his throne reshaping his plan, that he is not unaware of what's going on right now in our world, that he is aware of every detail, that he not only walks with us inside of our struggles and where he's calling us to go, but he's already where he's calling us to go, and that we are not alone. And so I wrote this song because I was in a season, again, of walking away from that studio, walking away from that comfort of just knowing financially where everything was going to come, to walking into a season of going, it's I don't know what's happening, God. And so the song for me was a song of reminding myself of God's faithfulness, of my trust is in him because he never leaves me and he never forsakes me. And something beautiful has happened. Our church has heard it, and they've picked it up for their cancer ministry. And there's different people with cancer that are contacting me. Hey, my uncle has stage 4 cancer. Can I send him your song? Hey, my sister, just all these family members. And this song is becoming an anthem to people who are going through cancer or are family members of people going through cancer. So it's becoming more than I'd ever even thought.
Never unaware.
Never unaware.
Bridget's music is beautiful. Please do give many listens there when you find her website and other sources. Thank you so much for coming back to see us here at KSST. Yeah. And you still have family here?
I do. My mom and dad and my brother and his new wife and their 3 kids all live here.
Maybe on your next trip to Nashville, if you drive through, you'll stop and see us again.
I sure will.
Thank you, Bridget.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in this morning.
And in sports, the Lady Cats softball team snatched victory from the jaws of defeat as they rallied to squeeze by Marshall 3-2 on the road Thursday evening. Marshall scored 2 runs on a couple of hits in the bottom of the first inning, and it appeared that those 2 runs might just stand up. Marshall freshman pitcher Adriana Vences shut down the Lady Cats over the first 5 innings. The Lady Cats got to within 2-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Kelsey Wallace singled, went to second base on a wild pitch, and scored on a Sadie Stroud single. In the Lady Cats' final at-bat in the top of the 7th inning, they scored the tying and leading runs. The Lady Cats' rally began with a Marshall error as Macy Hollins got on a dropped pop-up. Allie Fight then singled, and later in the inning, Alyssa Abram drove home both runners with a single. Bailey Haggerty kept Marshall off the scoreboard in the bottom of the 7th, and the Lady Cats won, improving their district record to 4-0. Haggerty got the pitching win and pitched another strong game for the Lady Cats. She struck out 11 Lady Mavs and allowed only 4 hits and 2 runs over 7 innings. Lady Cats coach David Carrillo called the game a real pitcher's duel. The Lady Cats had 6 hits and Marshall had 4. The Lady Cats made no errors and the Lady Mavs had 3. Allie Fight had 2 hits in the game for the Lady Cats, and Brinkley Driver hit a double. The Lady Cats are in first place in district with that 4-0 record. Mount Pleasant right behind at 3-0. Then comes Texas High 2-2, Hallsville at 2-2, Greenville is 0-3, and Pine Tree is 0-4. The Lady Cats improved their season record to 17-4, and the Lady Cats will be hosting Texas High Tuesday night at 6 p.m. at Lady Cat Park. That's Channel 18 TV News for today. I'm Don Julian, filling in for Jim Rogers. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.